We're finally going to talk about the rookie ball teams today, but first, some Saints highlights. Their only extra base hit in this one was this Austin Martin, double. A tight ball game. This game was nothing in the bottom of the ninth and had an interesting finish, which we'll get to. But Austin Martin, it's been a small sample up with the Saints, but he hasn't been hitting real well, so good to see him get a double there. He was playing second base today. Randy Dobnak on the mound delivered 6 shutout innings and I think an assist, technically, on this nice play by Anthony Prado. So there was some good defense behind him as well. The ball goes into play quite a bit when Dobnak's on the mound, so you get to see some infield work, which is nice. But the Saints did not prevail in this one, unfortunately. Just could not get enough offense going. Didn't score a run. Chris Williams was behind the plate. A guy who hasn't caught a ton this year was keeping an eye on him. Called a great game, but unfortunately had a throwing error there. But he made up for it pretty good with this play. This runner at second, you see here, bottom of the ninth inning, nothing. This runner is trying to score, and I think he would have been called out anyway, but he was legitimately out. And I gotta love the hair the hair turn by Chris Williams. Left him plenty lane to get to the plate, it looked like to me. So I don't know why, in 2023 we're going out of our way to railroad the catcher. But I'd love to know what Chris Williams said to him there. I'm not sure what happened. But again, love the little hair stroke there. I'm all good. I'm cool. So that was a nice play by him behind the plate. Unfortunately, later on in the bottom of the ninth inning, Josh Winder can't keep it going, can't extend this game. Hit goes out to the outfield, and that scores the walk-off run. Saints lose 1-0. Big transactions. The biggest, Tanner Schobel is on his way up from Cedar Rapids. He is going to be joining Double-A. Was not in the starting lineup for Wichita tonight, but probably tomorrow, I'd imagine, making his debut for them. Mikey Perez, who's spent some time with Cedar Rapids, is back up with Cedar Rapids. Keone Cavaco has returned to Cedar Rapids after being down with the FCL Twins, and I think before that on the developmental list. And Jose Salas is going to the developmental list, so hopefully we see him, a new-look Jose Salas when he returns. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to take a look at some stats on these rookie ball teams. Here is the Florida Complex League's hitting stats, and I'm just going to run through these guys. I have highlighted the gold represents players who've been on my top 50 Twins list at some point at least this season, and the guy in green is sort of a pop-up guy that's caught my attention since then. Jose Rodriguez, I have him ranked 28th in the system right now, right fielder, left fielder, first baseman. A bit of a disappointing start so far here. He had 13 homers and a 966 OPS last season in the Dominican Summer League. Brian Acuna, he's not on my top 50 at the moment. This is Ronald Acuna's little brother. Some other sites are really over the moon about this guy. He's the Twins' 15th ranked prospect according to MLB Pipeline and 18th according to Baseball America. Moving on down, Yasser Mercedes, who today had a triple and an outfield assist. I have him as the 14th ranked prospect in the system. He's also having a down year after impressing last year in the DSL. 975 OPS last year, and there you see a 662 this year. But I'm hearing very good things about people who have seen him play this year. Just a very dynamic player. Daniel Pena, again, this is a guy I'm not super familiar with, but he pops out to me. 18-year-old from Venezuela, a catcher who also plays some first base. He had a 400 OBP last year in the Dominican Summer League, so he's getting it done once again with that 848 OPS. And then Byron Charillo, the other guy they acquired in the Arise trade, along with obviously Pablo Lopez and Jose Salas, hasn't been playing a ton yet for the FCL Twins, but playing very well, so keep an eye out for him. And on over to the FCL pitching stats. Miguel Olivares was a guy I've had on my list at one point, a right-hander out of Venezuela. He hasn't given up a single home run in 57 1/3 pro innings going back to last year. That's my fun fact for him. Cesar Lares I have at number 49 right now, a left-handed starter also out of Venezuela. He has 102 strikeouts in 68 pro innings over the last 2 seasons, a 13.5 K per 9. And then the guy that jumps out to me, who hasn't been on my radar, is Juan Mercedes. right-handed starter out of the Dominican Republic. He moved up to Fort Myers. He got a rude awakening on his stateside debut, but he's up with the muscles now, so we'll keep an eye out for him. And then moving over to the Dominican Summer League hitters, none of the three big international signing guys on that roster, Ariel Castro, Carlos Silva, the catcher Carlos Silva, or Henry Shavili, is really putting up big numbers, though Shavili's looking good in his limited action so far. Good to see Castro's played as much as he has. But some underwhelming performances out of those guys as a group so far. I have Shavili 42nd and Castro 41st on my list right now. But the guy that stands out is Demuri Pena, 17-year-old second baseman out of the Dominican Republic, putting on a show for them. More walks and strikeouts with an OPS over 1,000. Obviously, all these are pretty limited sample sizes. The guys in this league are just so young. You see most of these guys 17 years old. And then over to the pitching stats for the Dominican Summer League Twins. This team, I think, is 7-23, but the second worst record in the Dominican Summer League. There wasn't really anybody that's popped up on my prospect list on this roster on the pitching side, but I want to call out Miguel Cordero at 16 years old, has 27 strikeouts in 20 innings, and a 3.15 ERA for them. He is a right-hander out of Venezuela. All right, so that does it. Thanks for checking this out. Really appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't. I just knew I wasn't going to be able to stay up to finish the Twins game and a video tonight, so I want to do something a little special in terms of checking out some of these rookie ball teams. So again, thanks for checking this out. Thanks to all the channel members here, the premium members. We'll talk again soon.